So I've coated it with this and then scrub, right?
I'll just dip the wire brush in there.
This is fine too. That way it doesn't waste as much. So it's working.
I know it's working. Dip it. Dip it. Don't be stingy about it. Right?
Yeah. It's gonna be a long process, but it's gonna speed things up for sure. How did that pop in your head?
It's really glued in there. Huh?
It's the beginning of the end. I'm seeing the beginning of the end. Do you like that? Or do you like the beginning? Or do you like the end only? I don't think you like anything. Your response is always the same. Wow, that was like magic. It is.
It's
Not coming off. Well, don't worry about like the little parts because we're gonna sand that off. You just need to scratch off the big things. It's actually pretty satisfying when it starts scratching off. This job is exhausting. Rocky and I got sick, and now I got laid off of work for 2 days because they think I might have COVID. So I'm getting tested, and then, but I'm already feeling better. So today me and Rocky have been refurbishing this thing. And as you can see, this is how far we've gotten. We've almost gotten all of the paint off on this one side, and it's taken like probably 2 hours of work. It's just soak and strip it for 10 minutes until you can scrape it off. And then only after that do I use spoolie, is that what they're called? I use a wire sponge and acetone to get the rest of the stuff off. So right now I'm just gonna coat these last paint splotches with some stripper. I'm hoping that I can finally remove them. Hi everyone, today I'm going to be continuing this refurbishment. Last time we used this piece of board that we found in storage to go on top, but we were thinking that it's probably kind of cheap looking, so I think we're going to go to the store with my mom today and pick out something better. The back side of it also needs to be replaced, and then for the rest of it, it still needs to be sanded down properly, so I can get rid of all the remaining green paint. There's just still a lot, but let's get to work. So I've nearly finished this side here, but there's still a lot of green on the front of the wood, so I'm going to try to use the big sander to sand that down. My hands feel numb from the vibrating motion. My sponge is frozen along with this brush to a chunk of ice. But since today is a warmer day, it should hopefully come apart. And I'm just going to combine some stripper and acetone. There's no turning back now. But I've been working on this one piece for like 2 hours now. And it's just, I'm literally sitting inside the storage right now with a heater because it's so freaking cold out there. But this is what we pretty much started with on the other side. At this point, this is pretty much so scratched up that I've like ruined it. Try to do some more light hand sanding and like fix some of those lines. And then I'm gonna clean everything with white spirit. I literally could have carved this myself in this amount of time that I've spent doing this. I just stained this board that we bought, but I think it's made of like plywood as well, which isn't really staining on the sides, and I'm afraid that it's gonna ruin the entire look of this dresser. It's also staining probably a slightly different shade than the rest of it because I'm sure it's not the same wood at all. We've sanded this thing for hours and hours, and there's still like blotches down the side which are really hard to cover with paint, but I'm gonna try to give it another coat the next time I come. Today I'm gonna try to strip the actual drawers because there's green paint like all within the lines here. So now my job is to try to remove that, and because of that I pretty much have to strip them of paint. I don't know if this process is ever going to end. everyone, I'm back with the dresser again, and I'm finally about to put on the gloss. The issue with the gloss is that it needs to be put on in 3 layers, and between each layer you're supposed to sand it for the best results. So what I'm going to be doing is putting on a layer tonight, and then in the morning I'm going to be working on sanding it, and then putting on another layer, and then either tomorrow or sometime during the week I'm going to try to get the 3rd layer on. And then my mom, so I just got into a car accident 2 days ago, if you guys can see that. That's where the airbag hit my eye, and my glasses probably scratched my face and they flew off into the back seat. But because of that, Mom has kind of taken initiative and she sanded down the rest of the drawers, so those are pretty much clean and good to go. And then I finished cleaning out like the little divots design in them, but I also screwed up the design, and one of them it was kind of ruined on one side, and I enlarged it too much, and it's pretty much like really thick line compared to all the other lines which are thin. So I'm going to take that drawer home and try to fix that, and maybe widen the line on the other side so both of those lines are wider. Polyurethane, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. This is clear satin, so it's not going to be super glossy. So I'm going to open that up. And you don't want to mix this because it's going to give it bubbles. You want it to be smooth as possible, and we're going to paint with the grain. So I finished sanding and glossing the dresser itself. I did 3 coats of gloss and 3 sandings in between. Still some dust from sanding left over on it. And then right now I am working on the drawers, which I've already sanded and glossed twice. So I'm finishing the sanding, and then I'm going to gloss them the last time. And finally the dresser is pretty much going to be done. And then the last thing to do is going to be attaching the board to the back of it. So I have this nail gun here. I've never used a nail gun before, but we're going to see how it goes today. First things first, I got to finish sanding these drawer shelves. So after sanding, I always clean off the dressers with mineral spirits, which gets rid of all the sanding dust and makes sure that the surface is extra clean before putting the next coat on. I'm sorry I haven't really filmed lately for finishing this project. I've just been so frustrated with trying to get it over with that I just decided not to even film, not to even bother. And especially since I don't bring my camera over, and my phone camera storage has been full, so it's been hard to film on anything unless I bring my camera. But as of right now it's working, so I'm just gonna try to film the rest of the finishing process here. The last thing is I'm gonna get drawer handles tomorrow, and I hope that all of these drawers are gonna fit in there well, because they've just not been sitting in there all that great. And then I've also screwed up right here. The design was messed up on one side, so I ended up just widening it and making it into a wide line, and then I had to copy that on the other side. So this is kind of my own carvings there. Not perfect, and it's not really gonna line up well with the rest of the design, but I'm thinking it's still gonna look good. I honestly am very happy with how it turned out. There's still some green in the design there, but I was so sick of doing all those little details that I just decided, screw it, and just went ahead and finished the rest of it. I really don't think that I would change anything about it. Even the top wood piece that I was so worried about turned out really well. And you can't really even tell that it's a different kind of wood. I got those little handles off of Amazon, and they're probably not the greatest, but I liked that it gave it a more modern look, so I decided to keep them.